using freedom of speech kind of as a weapon to basically punish everybody who supports Palestine. So that is just complete ironic rhetoric, and we do not tolerate it. Yeah.
So our next speaker is from Baltimore Artists Against Apartheid.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? Amazing. Oh, no. Hi, I'm with Baltimore Artists Against Apartheid. Oh.
Louder.
Is this all right?
Yes.
Beautiful. Just a few days ago, Israel, with the backing of the U.S. war machine, sabotaged the ceasefire deal and failed to uphold the second phase of the agreement because their real aim was always the ethnic cleansing of Palestine. The hands of the U.S. administration, currently led by war criminal Donald Trump, are stained with the blood of the martyrs. These crimes follow over 2 weeks of Israel's relentless blockade on Gaza during the holy month of Ramadan. Tens of billions of our tax dollars are being used to bomb innocent children instead of being used to meet the people's needs. Shame!
Shame!
It is long past time to hold those in power accountable. Just this past legislative session, the opposition here proposed the Maryland Campus Act, which would have intensified and universalized restrictions on student expression. The very suggestion of the bill as one component of the administration's repressive campaign creates a dangerous precedent for free speech. And on the heels of this bill came the disappearing of Columbia student activist Mahmoud Khalil, waves of arrests and deportations, and the end of the ceasefire in Gaza. The timing is no coincidence. It is all part of the Imperial Corps' greater strategy to destroy the power of the people. It reinforces the fact that we must act now to protect the most vulnerable among us. From Baltimore to Palestine, from deportations to ethnic cleansing, from the apartheid here to the apartheid there, our struggles are intertwined. The people, united!
We're gonna be defeated!
As artists, we understand that the fight for Mahmoud's freedom is a fight to defend the Palestinian people's right to self-determination and our right to use our voices, our practices, our art to stand against the Israeli genocide and apartheid system. We must all fight in solidarity with the global resistance against genocide and imperialism. We will not only continue to use our art to support the Palestinian resistance, but alongside the people of the world, we will also rise up in the streets to put an end to this massacre. We must take direct action to hold these complicit institutions accountable.
Yes!
And disrupt the genocidal supply chains providing U.S.-made weapons to Israel. We must escalate by all means, including, though not limited to, mass demonstrations, civil disobedience, and a comprehensive boycott of the Zionist entity and its supporters. We must advocate for Palestine internationally and use every tool we have at our disposal to mobilize the masses. The world must not remain silent in the face of these crimes. The U.S. war criminal politicians are afraid. They want to shut our movement down, but we will not back down. Will we back down?
No!
They know that we have the people on our side, so they rely on state violence and carceral punishment to maintain the status quo. It is our responsibility to reject this.
Yes!
If Trump and the ruling class get away with these attacks, they will come for all of us next.
Yes.
Students, artists, union organizers, and more. So the fight for Mahmoud is the fight for all of us. And the fight for Palestine is the fight for liberation everywhere.
Yes!
To all artists and cultural workers, we must use our cultural spaces, practices, and platforms to stand up for Palestine. We must exert every possible form of pressure on Israel to force an immediate end to the military operations in Gaza. We must get organized. Join our artist contingent in DC on April 5th to march on Washington and demand a stop to the oppression. From the river to the sea,
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
Netanyahu, you can't hide.
Netanyahu, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
We charge you with genocide.
Netanyahu, you can't hide.
Netanyahu, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
We charge you with genocide.
Not another nickel, not another dime.
Not another nickel, not another dime.
No more money for Israel's crimes.
No more money for Israel's crimes.
Not another nickel, not another dime.
Not another nickel, not another dime.
No more money for Israel's crimes.
No more money for Israel's crimes.
Justice is our demand.
Justice is our demand.
No peace on stolen land.
No peace on stolen land.
Justice is our demand.
Justice is our demand.
No peace on stolen land.
No peace on stolen land.
Israel, Israel, what do you say?
Israel, Israel, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
How many kids have you killed today?
Israel, Israel, what do you say?
Israel, Israel, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
How many kids have you killed today?
We're going to hand it off to John from JVP Baltimore. Please give him a big round of applause.
Earlier this week, the Netanyahu regime broke the ceasefire and resumed the genocide in Gaza. The regime continues the violent repression and forced displacement of the Palestinian people and land theft throughout all of Palestine. Here in the United States, the leaders of groups like AIPAC and the ADL claim to speak for all Jewish people in their horrific attempt to justify a genocide and to falsely label as anti-Semitic the righteous protest against the genocide, against the US-backed Israeli regime. All of this while the AIPAC and the ADL tolerate Elon Musk throwing up Hitler salutes. And Donald Trump using the guise of Jewish safety to justify his fascist takeover. An abduction of students and torture of people arrested at the border and at our airports. Here at home, here in Baltimore, groups like the Baltimore Jewish Council claim to speak for all Baltimore Jews. Earlier this week, when the Israeli regime resumed the bombing and mass killing, the executive director of the Baltimore Jewish Council stated, "I'm not sure what other choice Israel had." The other choice was a fucking ceasefire. To the Baltimore Jewish Council, you do not speak for all Baltimore Jews. You do not speak for the rising thousands of Jewish people who know this, who know that Jewish safety is inextricably linked with Palestinian liberation. What I learned growing up, if you see a Nazi throw up a Sikh Heil, you fuck them up! Appeasement did not work in the 1930s, and it will not work now as this neo-Nazi regime bears down on all of us. Our hope, not in our name, not in our name, not in our fucking name. Our hope for the future lies in solidarity. If you are not yet part of an organization, join one. Take a flyer, stay connected with CARE, stay connected with JVP, the Baltimore Rapid Response Network. We are safer together, we are stronger together. Land back, liberation, end the occupation. Land back, liberation,
End the occupation.
land back, liberation,
End back liberation.
end the occupation.
End the occupation.
Thank you.
If anyone's interested in joining Jewish Voice for Peace, you don't have to be Jewish. You just want a free Palestine and to end U.S. imperialism and the Israeli state. There's a link to fill out an interest form, and this is the QR code. So if anyone's interested in joining and helping organize for a free Palestine, please join us. And yeah.
We say we'll put it on the table over there?
We'll put it on the table over there with the water. So thank you.
Thank you. Do you have anybody else lined up? The students are coming. You can invite them.
Does anyone else feel called to speak right now?
Yes, I want to speak. Greetings, everybody. I'm so proud. I'm new to Baltimore. I've been here 6 months. And a lady named Marie, we were charging our car at Mom's Organic yesterday, and she came almost as an angel and just reminded me of my humanity and said, everything will be okay. You need to come to this meeting. And I'm like, what type of meeting is it? She said, it's an activist. I was like, bullshit. There are no more activists. Everybody sold out. I was disillusioned. Okay, all right. My name is Jahi Issa. I'm a professor of history. I've been teaching on the collegiate level for 20 years. I've been an activist all of my life. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I went to graduate school at Howard University in DC. I'm an international activist, and because of that, I've been labeled anti-Semitic, and I'm constantly harassed, surveillance. People have told me there's an app. When I walk by certain communities, an app comes up on people's phones, and this is I believe is being done by some of America's top oligarchs because of my research. I research on the illegal slave trade appeared in American history that very few Americans know about. And they want me to stop. They've stolen a lot of my records, broken into my car, but I refuse to stop because I believe that all people who want goodness for all humanity needs to hear this aspect of American history. And I'm so proud of everybody here that are here and who are especially our Jewish brothers and sisters. I grew up in a Jewish community, went to Jewish elementary and high school, and so for me to be labeled anti-Semitic with all of the other things that they're saying about me is not fair. But I'm happy now. This is probably the happiest day since I've been here in Baltimore in the last 6 months. So I thank you, and I will be working with you. One last thing. I've decided last month to go up to Congress and lobby the special committees that have hearings. I think that we should go to Congress. I think we should go to the Senate, and we should lobby for our causes. Kwesi Mfume is the congressman for this area, right? I went to his office, and I filled out a report, and I said that COINTELPRO, but people don't know what that is. It means counterinsurgency intelligence. Am I getting it right? No, intelligence. Counterintelligence program. I'm sorry. That it has been reinactivated. I don't think it ever left. And as citizens, if we don't deal with these things, like the young man said, and the young lady said, they're going to come after all of us. Right? So this is important. So thank you so much.
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
We're going to ask my good friend Sergio to come say a few words now.
And then I get to introduce Ellen. Great. Hi everyone, Sergio Spagna, fellow Baltimorean, did not expect to talk, was here to chant and stand in solidarity with everybody. But I will learn how to use this microphone to say what needs to be said, and that's end the genocide right fucking now. There's no other reason. There's no excuse for it. With that said, as someone who did not have prepared statements, I do have a couple of thoughts that stuck out. One is as it relates to, as folks were mentioning, Elon Musk and the Doge takeover, along with him being a Nazi. They're also actively crumbling our federal government so as they can privatize it, so they can have us in despair, fighting each other for scraps. We're not falling for it. While that's happening, what they've been able to brag about is something around $8 billion in cuts. That number is still an exaggeration from what I understand from research. At the same time, the Senate, along with Democrats, including obviously the Senate president, voted for this insane budget that includes over $15 billion in additional military funding to explicitly support not Israel, but the genocide. So if we're talking about... So we just need to be very, very honest about what we're up against. We are dealing with fascism in Israel, and we are unquestionably dealing with fascism here, and they are unquestionably working together. And so as I'm saying that, I also want to be very explicit here because about the importance, about the distinction. None of us are here because we have anything against a particular race of folk. We're here because we believe in everyone's humanity. Right? To be anti-Zionist is to be pro-human. That's it. To be anti-fascist means that you still believe in democracy. That's it. To punch a Nazi is a good thing. And also, it's important, I want to stress this on a personal level. The largest group of Zionists in this country, it's not Jewish folk. It's my family. It's Christians. It is evangelical Christians. They're like much larger numbers than Jewish folk. And it's extremely unfair that we're constantly asking, hey, how is everyone stepping up over here when all of us have a responsibility to have our communities step up, for all of us to have hard conversations with our communities as well. I do it all the time with my family. It gets awkward at dinner. So what? Like, I remember June 6, 1996 was supposed to be the end of the world at my church because it was 6, a couple of 9s and a 1, and then another 6. Close enough. Yasser Arafat, obviously the Antichrist, obviously working with indigenous Mayans in my country in Guatemala to bring about Armageddon. All of us got together at the church where literally the sermon was, this is great. Yasser Arafat is going to launch a war. Israel's going to kick butt. Then they're going to take over all of Israel. And then they're going to get nuked. Israel's going to be destroyed. But we get to get teleported to heaven. That is beyond irrational. It is inhuman. We have a responsibility to speak up for each other's humanity, to have awkward conversations, and to recognize that we unquestionably outnumber these fascists. All right? Yeah. So let's keep up the work. That's all y'all doing.
I'd like to welcome up. Is this thing still on?
You gotta hold it up.
What do I gotta do? Press it. I press it.
There you go.
Hello. Okay. I'd like to bring up Kim Jensen to read a poem.
Hey, everybody. It's so good to see so many people out here. And I was asked to read a poem, which I'll do in a second, but first I just want to say that I've been going around handing out leaflets. A group of us are doing a weekly vigil at Lake Montebello. A bunch of us are here. It's a great opportunity to stand up for Palestine, to be in community, and to share with the public our stance against this genocide. That is every single Friday, 5:30 to 7 at East 33rd and Hillen Road, which is right next to Lake Montebello. Please join us sometime. Give me a clap if you've heard of the great national Palestinian poet Mahmoud Darwish. You know, Darwish lived through genocide, he lived through ethnic cleansing, he lived through the bombing of Beirut, he lived through some of the darkest times. He had been imprisoned for his poetry. And I probably, here we go. So I will share with you a poem that I love called The Prison Cell. It is possible. It is possible at least sometime. It is possible, especially now, to ride a horse inside a prison cell and run away. It is possible for prison walls to disappear, for the cell to become a distant land without frontiers. What did you do with the walls? I gave them back to the rocks. And what did you do with the ceiling? I turned it into a saddle. And your chain? I turned it into a pencil. The prison guard got angry. He put an end to my dialogue. He said he didn't care for poetry, and he bolted the door of my cell. He came back to see me in the morning. He shouted at me, "Where did all this water come from?" I brought it from the Nile. And the trees from the orchards of Damascus, and the music from my heartbeat. The prison guard got mad. He just put an end to my dialogue. He said he didn't like my poetry. And he bolted the door of my cell. But he returned in the evening. Where did this moon come from? From the nights of Baghdad. And this wine? From the vineyards of Algiers. And this freedom? From the chain you tied me with last night. The prison guard grew sad. He begged me to give me back his freedom. That's Darwish.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, Kim. One more time for Kim Jensen, everybody. Okay, do we have anybody else who's moved to say a few words on the mic? Yes?
We do. I am.
Please.
Brielle. Brielle, everybody.
Test. Shalom Aleichem. My name is Brielle. I'm a student, I'm a Jewish student studying Arabic studies. And I think a lot of people forget what Zionism is and where it comes from. Zionism, like many nationalist movements, is inherently a weaponization of trauma. Just as the Nazi movement in Germany was a weaponization of German trauma against Jewish people, Jewish Germans, and just as TERF ideology is a weaponization of women's trauma against trans women, and the specter of terrorism and the notion that this is a religious conflict itself in many ways mirrors the Nazi Holocaust. Those of us who have learned about the Holocaust recall that the Jews were scapegoated and related to the specter of Judeo-Bolshevism. There's a popular saying in Germany that fascism, Nazism, is the fool's socialism. As it, rather than blaming the bosses, blames marginalized groups, which is the same thing happening in the U.S. today.
Yes.
And we forget, too, that Zionism was never popular among the Jewish people until the Jewish people were so broken down, so displaced, that they had no choice but to accept European Christian sovereignty. You can look up songs in Yiddish that are like so like against Zionism. Oy ihr narische Zionisten. And we often forget that many of the Jewish intellectual voices, some of which we often forget that they're Jewish, a lot of them were in support of the liberation of the worker, and against Israel as a project. When we learn about Karl Marx, when we learn about Albert Einstein, and
You got it?
Mishkain Shola, Mishkain Shola, Mishkain Sedek.
Nishkan Shalom, Nishkan Tzedek.
Sai Palestina, Sai Baltimore.
Sei Palästina, sei Baltimore.
Min al-Maya lil-Maya. Palestine Hurriya.
Palestine Hurriya. Thank you.
I'm Ellen Barfield with Baltimore Veterans for Peace.
Hold it for a second.
Testing. Oh, we got it.
Okay, let's try this again. I'm Ellen Barfield with Baltimore Veterans for Peace. VFP is celebrating its 40th birthday this year, and we're proud of that. And we're proud that Baltimore VFP is over 20 years old now.
Yes.
I want to honor, commemorate, and mourn Aaron Bushnell, the Air Force soldier who immolated himself about a year ago at the Israeli embassy in D.C.
Yes.
And his dear friend Levi Pierpont. They were both raised in fundamentalist isolationist families, Christian families, and they were buddies in basic training when they were harassed by the others because they were weird. And Levi is still mourning, of course, and will be the rest of his life. VFP created this shirt to be in solidarity with Levi in Israel after Aaron immolated himself. There are other soldiers who are seeking conscientious objection release from the military because of their horrors at what the U.S. is doing, funding and arming Israel. Veterans for Peace, yes. Veterans for Peace and the Center on Conscience and War, on whose board I also serve, are working to help them remove themselves from vicious, endless U.S. militarism. Veterans for Peace are people who've seen war and know that is never the answer. And we continue to speak out. We've had delegations to Palestine in the past. We work with Combatants for Peace, Israelis and Palestinians who've realized that war is not the answer. They have to work together to get a free and unified country. We are putting together another delegation for some time in the next few months. Veterans for Peace will speak out and support the resisting soldiers and support the cause, and we're so glad this is a good crowd today. Thank you all.
Thank you all. We do a little chant break. Repeat after me. Hey, hey, ho, ho. The occupation has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. The occupation has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. The occupation has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. The occupation has got to go. The people united will never be defeated. 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 Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Israel, Israel, what do you say?
Israel, Israel, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
How many kids have you killed today?
Israel, Israel, what do you say?
Israel, Israel, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
How many kids have you killed today?
Not another nickel, not another dime.
Not another nickel, not another dime.
No more money for Israel's crime.
No more money for Israel's crime.
Not another nickel, not another dime.
Not another nickel, not another dime.
No more money for Israel's crime.
No more money for Israel's crime.
It might still be on. It's still on.
Has to bring it closer.
Yep, it's good.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Zahi Khamis. I'm actually related. I want you to know that I am actually related to one probably of the most powerful Jewish voices against Zionism. And her name was the late Arna Meir. Have you heard of Arna Meir?
Yes.
If you have not, you should find out about her. There is a documentary. Can you hear me? Yeah. All right. I'll try to. Thank you. Arna Meir, there is was married to my uncle, who was a communist, one of the founders of the Israeli Communist Party, Saliba Khamis. And it was actually the first Jewish-Palestinian marriage after the genocide of 1948. And they gave birth to three beautiful children. One of them became very famous, and unfortunately, that's my cousin Giuliano Meir Khamis. That was my cousin, who was assassinated in 2011, I think, on Kim's birthday, and in front of the Freedom Theater in Geneva. So whatever I say to you, I'm speaking to you from a place where Jews were never foreign to me. So the question of anti-Semitism, let me say this, that the worst source and the most criminal source of anti-Semitism is Israel. Is Israel. And before Israel, Zionism. That was before the Holocaust. Zionism started 50 years before the Holocaust. So they cannot fool, Israel cannot fool anyone. But I want to escalate my words a little bit. As a Palestinian who's 65 years old, some of you are my age, and most of you are probably younger than me. Yes, Eddie. I want to be Eddie. All right. 65 years of watching my people get slaughtered by Israel. 65 years. How many among you have witnessed your people being slaughtered? Tell me, for the last 65 years. How many of you? Raise your hand. You are here protesting not just the genocide. You're protesting the second genocide. It's the second genocide in less than 2 years.
Yes.
Yesterday, 30 Palestinians, human flesh and blood, more than 30, were murdered in Gaza. I don't know the number of the wounded. Today, I don't know the exact number, but it's tens of people this morning were slaughtered in Gaza again. And the record will continue. What I want to say, of course, it's an honor to be part of this protest. But what I want to say, and what I said at the Jewish Voices for Peace mass meeting a few weeks ago, it's not enough.
That's right.
It's not enough. I don't want to say I'm tired of screaming free, free Palestine. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. We don't get tired of these beautiful slogans. But that's not enough, people. We need to stop the fucking genocide. So the question is how? I ask you that question. How? How are we going to stop the genocide? If it is true that we have masses of people who think like we do, who hate the genocide, who want Palestine to be free, who want the Palestinian children to be protected, then where are we? Why can't we stop the genocide? This is the second genocide. I want to suggest that we need to escalate what we do. You say how? Say how. First of all, we should never fear the fascists in the White House. Whether you're on a green card deal or you're a student visa, fuck all of that. Don't fear them. And I'm talking to you from this is a person who was deported twice in his life. Twice, okay? Once from England during Thatcher, and once from Norway. Maybe I got used to, so that's why I don't fear. Yeah. Well, I am a U.S. citizen now. Somehow it happened. But I wanna bring back the escalation point. And I'm not joking about this. We need to escalate. Yeah. Do you hear me?
Yes.
If you have any illusions about Israel and Zionism and liberal Zionism and all that bullshit, by the way, you need to give that up.
Yeah.
Zionism was corrupt from its inception.
Yes.
And that's why it fit perfectly into the British colonial plans and then later on into the United States imperial plans. Perfectly. It's a perfect candidate for these colonial centers. Perfect. Murderous. Because it's willing. Zionists are willing to murder children, old people, anybody who doesn't look like them, doesn't sound like them. So, let's give up delusions about Israel and Zionism. Yes, there are great people in Israel. There are great Jews, activist Jews. I read about them every day. But that should not feed into our delusions about Zionism. So, there's so much I want to say to you, but I will cut that short. What I want to say to you, we need to escalate the struggle. One thing we can do is revive hunger strike, for example. How many among you would be willing to go on a hunger strike right at the United Nations building? How many? Raise your hand. That's a good start. It's a good start. If we could find the same number in New York City, in Philadelphia, in Washington, D.C., we could start a hunger strike, ongoing hunger strike, rotating hunger strike. We could do that. And, sorry?
Can we make you points of whoever's interested should contact you, like to come up to you?
Yeah. If you are interested, come to our vigil this Friday. The one that Kim Jensen spoke about.
We say again where that is?
That is on 33rd and Helen, right on the corner of the beautiful lake of Montebello.
And what time?
5:30 every Friday, from 5:30 till 7 o'clock. We have conversations that take place there too, like intimate conversations, because it's a small vigil. We would like to enlarge it, by the way. We would like that vigil to extend all the way down Helen and 33rd. So come and support us and bring your families and your friends. Anyway, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
So we want to thank all of you for coming out tonight on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, and we hope to continue seeing you. This is not just the beginning. this is not the end, this is only the beginning. And when you come out to these protests, it's not just about showing up, it's about what you take away when you leave from here and how you apply that in your everyday lives. So raising awareness, continuing to mobilize, contacting your members of Congress, urging them to take action, whatever they can do in their capacity to end the genocide, end the funding of the genocide using our billions of our tax dollars is deeply appreciated. So we are going to wrap up shortly. We're going to put on some music. You all are welcome to stick around. Or if anybody has to leave, please feel free to do so. But again, thank you all for coming out. Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Gaza, don't you cry!
Gaza, don't you cry!
We will never let you die!
We will never let you die!
Gaza, don't you cry!
Gaza, don't you cry!
We will never let you die!
We will never let you die!
Love you all, thank you. We actually have one more speaker. I'm sorry, we have one more speaker. We have a student from UMBC who's going to be here saying a few words.
I'm sorry guys, I wrote this today, but it's from the heart. Oh, sorry. Is it on? Okay. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Khadija. I'm a UMBC student. It's not on?
It's on if you hold it like all the way to your mouth.
Like here?
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Khadija. I'm a UMBC student and I'm representing the Muslim Student Association, and I'm also on board of my university's Students for Justice in Palestine. In the Islamic tradition, we believe that proximity to God is directly intertwined with serving humanity and opposing injustice and oppression. This is a principle that should transcend Islam and should be reflected by all the different members of our community. We witness varying levels of injustice at home and abroad, but no level of injustice is more than what our Palestinian brothers and sisters are facing. We must protest, we must speak out in our workplaces, campuses, friend groups. We must quit our jobs if they're contributing to the murder of oppressed people. We must continue to make noise, and we cannot continue to accept that this nation's contribution to the murder of people in Palestine, Sudan, Yemen, Congo, or elsewhere will ever be acceptable.
Yes.
None of the work we do here, none of the sacrifices we make can even touch the sacrifices Palestinians make every second of every day. None of it touches the pain Palestinians experience both in Palestine and in the diaspora, being torn from their homeland and their family, having to fight a colonial entity that is attempting to destroy a connection that is rooted deeper than their flimsy ideology. For those of us fasting, we might be hungry right now, but this doesn't touch the starvation Gazans have been feeling for the past 533 days. To the Muslims here, we protest, we lobby, we pray, we stand here and speak out in hopes that on the day of judgment, it could be enough that we can ask for their forgiveness.
Wow, that's
and to the rest of us here, we must remain steadfast in our advocacy because Palestinian lives and Palestine as a whole demands our collective action. Today we stand here to show that we will not accept Mahmoud Khalil's arrest, nor the doctor in Georgetown, nor the 500,000 people, I think yesterday, whose legal right to be here was revoked. We're here to demand their immediate release and freedom, and after today, we will continue to show our unwillingness to not accept this new status quo. We must continue to escalate and never cower in the face of power-hungry world leaders when Gazans are standing firmly in the face of genocide. Thank you. Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do
Hey everybody, before we close out, in case you didn't get a flyer, I want to encourage everybody to go to marchforpalestine.org. There's going to be a march on Washington, D.C. on April 5th, Saturday after next, starting at 1 p.m. For an arms embargo now, stop the repression and free Palestine. Again, that's marchforpalestine.org. Yeah, thank you. And if you're sticking around, make sure that your signs are facing the street. We want people to see us. And hope you'll hang out with us a little longer. Zainab, did you want to say something else? Like march around? Yeah, like on the... Yeah, sure.
So we're going to do a brief march. We're going to start over here. We're going to walk around the ellipse. If you want to join us, you're welcome to join us. If you're tired and you want to just hang out here, that's okay too. But we're going to be chanting some slogans and walking around the ellipse here.
تركوها جنات الخلد لا تفوتوها عتقوها أمي فلسطين لا تدوزوها تركوها جنات الخلد لا تفوتوها